Hi there, my name's Rich. I'm Senior PPC Manager here at Jellyfish, and I'm going to talk to you today about routing negative keywords. So, if you've seen my previous video about match type negatives, you'll know we use negative keywords to make sure that the exact keyword gets shown over the phrase and the phrase keyword over the broad. Now that's all well and good when the keyword text is exactly the same, but there are going to be occasions where you have different keyword text in your account that could still be eligible for the same auction. Let's just take an example of how that would work. Say for instance you sell Canon cameras. You're going to have a certain amount of generic keywords in your account, like for instance Canon cameras on phrase, but then you're also going to have just quite specific keywords in your account that refer to the specific products you sell. For instance, Canon cameras 700D. However, for that specific search query, both these keywords are eligible to show because it contains the phrase Canon cameras, which could trigger the generic. Now, it's generally not good for the advertiser when Google has to decide which keyword to use. They'll do it based on quality score and ad rank, but there are occasions where they might be tempted to serve the generic over the specific. For instance, maybe it's got a high history of high click-through rate, maybe it's just got a higher bid for whatever reason, or maybe you've paused your keywords that refer to that specific product because maybe you're out of stock and you're thinking that pausing those keywords are going to block your ads from showing totally, when actually all that's going to happen is the generics are just going to come into its place. So what we need is some sort of system to force Google to show the most relevant ad as much as possible, making sure we've got that specific ad title there that refers to that specific product wherever the ad is searched, and sending users through to the most specific landing page, optimizing your click-through, your conversion rate as much as possible. So the way this is done is quite simple. We would just split out the generics from the specifics into different ad groups, and then we would add the specific keywords as negative keywords for the generic ad group. Let's just have a look at how this would work. So, same example again. We've got Canon cameras on phrase in its own ad group, and then we've got Canon cameras 700D in its own ad group, but then that keyword text is added as a negative keyword for the generic. We could even go a bit of a step further and just add 700D as the negative keyword for the generic ad group. That would totally block the ads from showing whenever that part of the search query is entered. So that may sound a little bit complicated, and it does mean that sometimes you're going to have to think about your naming convention so you know that which level of granularity your keywords are, just how specific they are. It also can get a bit complicated when you've got multiple layers of granularity as well. So take this example. Say you've got cameras that are being sold in multiple colours, so the Canon camera 700D black might be a keyword that you have in your account. So we'd then split that out into a third ad group, have that by itself in phrase match. We then add that as a negative keyword for the slightly less specific one, just Canon camera 700D, and then we can add them both as negative keywords for the really generic ad group that just contains Canon cameras. We could also just add black and 700D to make sure that all happens nice and easily. So, as I said, you're going to have to think about your naming convention, finding some way to label to you as an account manager which level of granularity is there, and just makes your account easier to manage and your life a lot easier. Great, thanks for watching.